Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Today, we are exploring the story of Jack, a stray dog living on the streets who happens to stumble upon a small and mysterious bundle next to the trash bins. What happens next is a remarkable story that we are sure you will love. Please consider liking this video. Our goal is 7,000 likes for this video, and also consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Jack is a seasoned stray dog living in the heart of Brunswick. Here, he typically begins his day as the sun rises, as his early morning ritual takes him to the quiet main street before it gets too busy. This allows him to traverse the alley safely in order to reach the hidden treasures behind the local restaurants. While he is cautious in his journey every morning, it's not because he's afraid of or dislikes humans. He's simply careful due to his previous experience. Having witnessed the cruelty and thoughtlessness of people during his time on the streets, Jack has become a master of self-preservation. The streets have taught him to trust no one but himself. Although Jack does trust one human thing at least, the human habit of discarding food scraps at the end of each day. This simple act has become the source of Jack's daily breakfast, a reliable source of sustenance in an otherwise unpredictable world. On a morning just like any other for Jack, he's busy roaming the streets, scouring the nearby trash bins for food to fight off starvation. But, amidst the discarded bits of old food, Jack's keen senses suddenly sense something odd and mysterious near the bins. He spots an old blanket, which is inconspicuously tucked against the cold brick wall, and it catches his attention immediately. Intrigued, he approaches the blanket carefully, never forgetting to keep himself safe and ready to run at a moment's notice. As he inches closer, the scent emanating from the bundle becomes undeniably human, but with an unfamiliar nuance that piques Jack's curiosity. As he presses his nose against the makeshift cocoon, Jack's keen olfactory perception deciphers a scent unlike any he has encountered before. This scent is almost fragile, vulnerable, and innocent. It triggers something dormant in his genes and activates his protective instincts. Despite his wariness of humans, Jack's innate compassion surges forward. He senses something tiny and helpless within, a life hanging in the balance. Minutes pass by as Jack stares at the bundle, contemplating his next move. With a gentle nudge and a careful repositioning of the bundle, he secures the bundle with a grasp of his mouth. In that moment, Jack is no longer a simple stray dog, but now a determined guardian with a singular mission. The bundle responds faintly to Jack's actions as the dog picks up the bundle, showing weak signs of noise acknowledgement from within. And the dog now knows that someone has wrapped a human baby in a blanket and left it there. And to make things worse, the bundle suddenly goes limp. So Jack is suddenly faced with a big decision. He knows this small creature wrapped in the bundle of blankets needs help, but it's still early morning, and the restaurants where people could help are still closed. Jack then must be grappling with the realization that despite his inclination to remain indifferent to human affairs, he now depends on their intervention. The streets had taught him survival, but in this moment, compassion and the call of responsibility urges him to seek their contact. The squirming form within the blanket leaves Jack no choice. He jumps into action. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, he makes his way to a peculiar building a few blocks away, an establishment where he occasionally had scavenged for sustenance in the past. Experience has taught him that this place was a hive of human activity, bustling with individuals at all hours. 5 minutes later, as he rounds the final corner, Jack's hunch has proved correct. The building, Brunswick Hospital, stands before him with its constant human presence. People are entering and leaving constantly, and in the midst of it all, a large truck with flashing red lights emits a deafening wail as it approaches from his left. Without hesitation, Jack heads straight towards the sliding doors, maneuvering through the hospital entrance. Inside, the atmosphere is buzzing with urgency. Hospital staff are immersed in the chaotic rhythm of their duties, and people are talking loudly wherever the dog looks. But then, as fate would have it, a nurse on duty that morning catches sight of Jack entering the emergency room. She instantly notices something odd about the dog. And while she at first is concerned for hygiene reasons, she's also worried about the dog causing a commotion. So she tries to shoo him away, out the sliding doors and onto the street again. But Jack escapes, and suddenly finds himself in a small kitchen adjacent to the ER waiting area. The air is thick with the aroma of brewing coffee, and 3 ladies are sitting down engaged in conversation. Jack's arrival goes unnoticed at first, but when he catches their attention, 2 of the women also try to shoo him away. But Jack is not listening to the humans. He knows his mission, and he stands his ground, with the bundle of blankets still firmly in his mouth. He knows that this baby he is carrying needs human help. His instincts lead him to ignore the 2 women trying to shoo him away, and instead, he focuses on the 3rd lady in the break room. Unlike the other 2, she greets the dog with kindness, which seems to put Jack at ease. This woman is called Angelina, and due to her compassion, Jack feels comfortable enough to delicately lower the bundle to the floor while maintaining a cautious distance. Angelina Potter, a seasoned member of the Brunswick Hospital staff with nearly a decade of experience, unexpectedly finds herself facing an unprecedented situation. Despite her familiarity with canine behavior, the unique interaction unfolding before her intrigues and perplexes her. She's already noticed that the dog is a stray, in no small part due to the matted and well-worn coat. So her instincts guide her to approach with care, mindful not to startle the animal. However, a sense of urgency grips her, the need to unravel the mystery within the rolled-up blanket that, although dirty, looks to be a baby blanket that hospitals use. Taking measured steps forward, Angelina maintains a steady but reassuring tone as she begins speaking to the dog in a friendly manner. Jack initially takes a step back, as to signal he's not interested in attention himself, but that the real reason he's here is the bundle of blankets now lying on the floor in between them. Angelina takes a moment to consider things, before realizing what the dog wants. Kneeling on the floor, Angelina Potter unwraps the bundle, and an unexpected wave of emotion surges within her. Tears well up in her eyes as the layers of blankets reveal a sight that she could have never anticipated. Even before the final layer fell away, Angelina knew the gravity of the revelation. Nestled within the folds of fabric lay a fragile life. A tiny baby, no more than a few days old, its tiny chest barely rising, and its skin tinged blue from the harsh cold. In an instant, Angelina transitions from a moment of disbelief to one of urgent action. Shouting across the room to the nurse behind the counter, she demands the immediate presence of a doctor, stressing the life-threatening distress the infant's currently in. With practiced hands, Angelina rubs her palms together to generate warmth, gently tapping the baby's chest and the soles of its feet, hoping for any sign of responsiveness. Silence hangs low in the air. There's no movement, no reaction from the baby. The only glimmer of hope is the fading heartbeat. Luckily, Jack could not have chosen a better place to bring the baby. Angelina manages to summon a doctor to the scene, who then promptly takes charge of the situation and is ordering the baby to be put on a gurney. Staff quickly wheels the baby away for immediate medical attention. With the crisis averted, Angelina redirects her focus to Jack, the dog who suddenly has become an unlikely hero. Commending him for his extraordinary actions, Angelina extends her hand in an attempt to touch him. Jack, typically reserved, surprises both himself and Angelina by allowing the contact. In that moment, an unspoken bond is formed between them. Jack, the streetwise dog, and Angelina, the compassionate caretaker, sharing a moment of understanding between the two species. Jack, who's normally wary of humans, seemed to feel something special in Angelina, as he does not shy away as she extends her hands towards the dog, allowing her to pet him. With each ear fondle, Jack's initial hesitancy melts away. When Angelina reaches for her jacket, he remains faithfully by her side, a silent companion ready to follow wherever she leads. As she dons her coat and prepares to leave, a simple invitation hangs in the air. "You coming?" Jack follows her out the door. He entered as a stray dog, now leaving as a human companion and hero of the day. But the story does not end here. Around 3 months after this fateful encounter, Jack has now been adopted by Angelina and lives with her full-time. The two have formed a close bond and enjoy each other's company every day. And then, one night, when Angelina returns home from work, Jack can smell something familiar in the air as she jingles the keys to her door. His tail begins wagging as the door opens, and he sees not only Angelina, but the tiny human that he brought to the hospital what now seems like a lifetime ago. Now the three of them share a loving home together, and their future looks brighter than ever. What a lovely story. What do you think? Would you have reacted the same way as Angelina? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.